Hello everyone, this is Greyshot 117 to bring you another Company of Heroes 2 replay, brought to you by IB Life, I believe is the individual who sent me this replay. If I'm getting that name incorrect, I'm sorry, IB Life, whoever it was. Stalin66 is also on the team, along with Art and Hitless666. We also have Wolf Forever, Brick, who else do we have here? Saint and BMW, all playing a 4v4 on Hill 331. Now, this map, kind of interesting because it has three main areas of fighting. You have the left area, with essentially three hills, I should say. You have the left hill, which has this passageway that you can grab the fuel. Usually, and you have the right one as well, kind of very similar. Usually, an enemy force will occupy that position and then set up an encampment and use that as a forward logistics point to attack the enemy from behind, while there's usually a large confrontation in mid. Typically, you can control up here, but since it's kind of in the middle, even though there's a lot of heavy cover, it's very hard to position yourself and really fortify because there's so many ways to come up and kind of take point, or at least counter any positions here. Whereas, like these locations on the right side, there's these narrow passageways which you can kind of block up with tank traps, mines, MGs, etc. So let's see here. What do we have? We have 3 Vermont players and 1 OKW player, with 3 British players and 1 American player. And rank-wise, we're dealing with some pretty low players, Jesus Christ. And then we're dealing with some decently high. I love the matchmaking system in this game. If they do Company of Heroes 3, I think it should be how much time have you put into Company of Heroes in the last month, okay, or week, something where it can categorize okay, this person's played 10 hours in the last day, and then over the week they played 100, but then this player has played 1 hour over the course of a month. Maybe we shouldn't put them toe to toe. That's just me. I don't know. So let's see here. We have a... Looks like... I was going to say an MG, but it's going to be dead really soon, so I don't think I should really call it out. Anyway, yeah, you can put your guys in this building. Sure, why not? I guess. But kind of an issue because, again, typically it's under so much fire. You can throw a grenade. Mortar doesn't help being so close. We see the British player. I find it funny that again, you have the American ambulance up here, and he's wedging it in, and there's probably no way he's going to be able to escape. Oh, okay, he's coming back to get his reinforcements. Coming into flank could be very, very bad for IB Life. Who's, let's see, we have elite troops, pretty good infantry with stormtroopers. I literally did a replay of that recently, except these guys can be equipped with the Jaeger light infantry package, which is G43 rifles, pretty awesome. Stalin is vesting armor, again, good for fortifications and countering heavy fortifications. We have Hitless with breakthrough. Jagdtiger can see being very effective in mid and hitting enemy armor positions. Usually there's long-range armor combat in this location. You can't really cut off territory, though. I will say this: the fuel points are a major point contention. You can see here a bunker, because again, there's a lot of negative cover. Usually people try to come around the sides and kind of attack through this direction and take the point. You can see here again, they're trying to do that here. We'll see how effective it is. Looks like the MG42, it probably did die. I'm assuming he grabbed the Pioneer Squad on it and retreated it, but that's just me. Ambulance still here. They're still fighting. We have a Vickers coming up on the left-hand side. Again, a lot harder on this point to really block it off because there's so many paths up. But it is possible. For the British players and the American player, we have infantry companies, so we have artillery with the priests, and counter, I guess, emplacements with the time on target and mortar. Royal Engineer Regiment, kind of a mixed support function. Again, you kind of counters enemy emplacements, or at least bunkers and everything along those lines, or enemy MGs and buildings and other things. You can heal your emplacements, you can heal your armor, and you get the AVR, which is also great for killing blobs. And he went the same thing, which I already see as being a big no-no. Again, you want a nice wide force because you want to make sure that the enemy can't simply do a hard counter. My favorite thing, if you have not watched my replays, is I always do references, and I could do references as the Reapers, which killed everything because they focused on a sole strategy, or maybe you could do other more historical bases. For example, the Oh, what I'm trying to think of the what was it? What was the strategy? Not Blitzkrieg. There was a German strategy that they would consistently use, and the Russians took advantage of it. What the fuck was it? Anyway, essentially, it's learning what the enemy's gonna do and be like, all right, let's plan for that and counter. So there you go. Actually, we can see here that unfortunately, even though that they have the fuel point over here, and they have the fuel point over here, they are losing all the rest of munitions, which actually, with all those actually locations and being taken over by the Allies, we can see here point-wise, it's going over to the Allied side. So, again, I try to do point-by-point perspective on games and show like how the game's going, and even though they're getting a lot more fuel with both positions, munitions-wise, the advantage is still with the Allies, so they can get better equipment, which can help counter the armor rush that will probably come, like IB Life is currently deploying. Let's see how his teammates are doing. We have a half-track on the right-hand side. Okay. Oh, I love this design. Again, for those who... I think the Company of Heroes 2... It may be still going on. The Company of Heroes 2 Humble Bundle. But you can get some awesome skins. This is, I think, a Valkyria Chronicle skin, which was a game on Humble Bundle, I think, before that. But, oh god, it's a very good game. Very good World War II based, like, anime. And it's very, very good. But anyway, awesome skin. And the half-track will be good for suppression. Hold this position, also shoot down enemy aircraft that might want to do some recon in this, like, northern hill. We can see we have an American charge over here, but an MG, I assume, is... Oh! No, we have a flank here. Like, say they got up this path. Is there a path? No, they didn't break... Yeah, oh, sorry. That you could technically blow your way through, but I guess they ran this way. Made this, got an MG down, which they should retreat, if I was a reasonable person. And also we have an armored car, which... I find funny they sent armored car to the left, although I'm assuming they're like, okay, let's take this position because we need the hill. And like I said, usually a team will focus on a hill, grab the hill, and once they hold that hill, they'll then focus on mid, and that's how the game persists. They'll lock down this point, provide resources to the middle position, and try to break through on the right hill. Once the breakthrough is complete, the game is typically over. You need at least one foothold to really like stand a chance, and right now it doesn't look good for the Axis. Also, kind of interesting mine placement. I like how you're trying to spread them out and keep them consistent, so if an enemy squad comes up, it will blow up. Unfortunately, with a Relic update, Relic, a few things with this game I don't agree with you on. Some things they do, some things they don't. I think the super RNG plane should come back, but that's just me. But in any capacity, this is what I think. Mine should not just do a set to people damage. I kind of like the RNG-ness of it, where it's like the individual unit, if there's 3 guys close proximity to a mine, it should blow up. I don't care if I'm on the receiving end. That's kind of just, you know, how it should be if I'm kind of mismanaging my units. Also, retreat. Thank you. Looks like we have emplacements coming down over here. Try to hold this point. Kind of stupid. First off, interesting placement with all the mines. I think these are American mines, I think, by how they're placed. But because again, we have 2-2 that kind of looks like American mines. And I can double check that right now. By fog of war, since the Allies can see it, it is definitely mines placed by the Allies. But in any case, this is a bad move. Why? While the mortar emplacement's good for killing enemy positions that could possibly harm the Boffer, and the Boffer can provide infantry counters to anything that could kill the mortar, this thing is up front, so long-range AT gunfire could easily kill it, or just normal infantry, anything like along those lines, and the Boffer can't really defend it as well as you might think. So, yeah, not all that great. And yeah, this mortar is going to pretty much kill a lot of the Axis, which unfortunately put a lot of their, support weapons on 0 cover to negative cover, which is a really dumb move. We have a large push coming on the left-hand side. The nice thing is the Axis are at least holding the right, and it looks like they're fortifying, which is a smart move, and they should probably really focus on that and then try to come up from behind, kind of what the Allies did beforehand, but just kind of hold. Yeah, a lot of those mines are currently taking them out. Also, grenades being thrown. Oh, yeah, he has the grenade upgrade, so that's going to really help him out and kind of counter, like, blobs of infantry that may be more powerful than him, but a well-placed grenade can really turn that tide. Also, I probably should have pointed this out. Okay, he did get infantry. I was wondering why he had 800 manpower, but he was just saving up to get something, I assume, and try to figure out what his strategy was. But yeah, a lot of MGs up here. Now, here's a really stupid thing. These guys are being incredibly stupid with how they're setting up their MGs. Now, you may be asking yourself, Greyshot, what are you talking about? He has great MG positions and an ambulance so he can keep healing. It's a great position. No, because he's actually increasing the risk of harm. Now, what do you want in this game? You want to minimize the enemy's chance of countering. You want to make sure that you can control the battlefield and how they're going to attack you. If you do that, you can pretty much be in a scenario that you can counter anything the opponent throws at you, as long as you know what they can throw at you, their capabilities, and direct them how you want them to be directed. Now, in this scenario, we can see here that there is one way to get up this hill. Now, you can put an MG here and an MG here, and this would cut off, or even MG here, probably this location would be better, because then you could hit him down this way. But I digress. And if you have two directions to hit an enemy coming up, they can't attack you here. So then you force them into a negative cover, which would be literally a slaughter if they would come through here. It'd be worse than a World War I no man's land. Yeah, we can see here Americans placing mines, and they get that because of the passive ability for structures. Let's see, BMW. Alright, that. And yeah, Everick with the mobile assaults on the mattress, which is infantry artillery, but very, very powerful. Man, that squad got annihilated. Poor Grenadiers. But yeah, they need to move these MGs up, which also they're MG spamming, and put it there and kind of refocus. Honestly, I have no idea why the American player is up here. The British player could easily fortify and hold this position. He should really be focusing in mid, because as you can see in mid, yeah, the allies are kind of being annihilated. We can see here that this guy is using that advantage. I think you should probably spread the trucks out a little bit more, but he's using the advantage of holding this hill and coming around and taking out multiple key points and trying to neutralize the enemy. Yeah, try to neutralize the enemy from behind, and he has better weapons to fight a close-range battle with the STG-44s than the British. The British are good at holding a position, waiting, and firing because they get better advantages while in heavy cover. While these guys are really, they don't get that, but what they excel at is short-range combat, so they have to be on the move and constantly engaging the enemy. Also, really nice Puma skin. I really like that. And as you can see here, they're knocking out that position right here. So if they neutralize that position, the British won't be able to bring up a forward line. Unfortunately, we have an AT gun coming up. Nice smoke. Get the hell out of there. Really surprised to be able to build a mortar position right there. Figure it would kind of stop him, but whatever. Yeah, we can see here that early armor is really helping them. Break up the emplacements. Kind of push them back. Although the AT gun over here is definitely hurting them. That early armor rush was at least enough to dislodge them. And as you can see in mid, all those fortifications have pretty much been heavily crippled or pretty much on the verge of being destroyed. This one's going to blow up very quickly. You can see, oh, now you brace. Okay, I was going to say. Did he? Okay, this is also really stupid. He made the Centaur a command vehicle, and the command vehicle has a shorter speed, but as you can see here, it improves other units, which is great, and has a recon plane. Typically, I don't give it to tanks. If I do, it's not a frontline tank. I usually give it to like a universal carrier, something small, hide it behind everybody so they can't see it, and then it just gets the boost. That's what I typically do. I mean, you can do a Centaur, but it's a slow move. It's a sitting duck, and I would rather have something that I can hide instead of a big freaking target that it's easy to kill with a Panzer IV running up and getting a couple shots on it. But yeah, these guys need to get off their high horse and move to mid, especially with their fortified line. This is also stupid. You could have put tank traps down here. Again, with all you have, mortars up here, MG here, MG here, AT gun here, AT gun here. Then we have a baseline infantry that goes with an ambulance here and a major. You can send down here, attack the enemy positions with smoke, get around the MGs, neutralize this, come around, and start hitting the enemy from behind and countering their armor, which is getting healed, and even neutralize that if you equip them with bazookas, which I'm going to make the assumption you don't have. No, you do have, you just don't want to give it to them for some weird reason. Anyway, so the Wehrmacht, again, players went Panzer Force. Now, the OKW can go this as well, and they actually get a better version, but yeah, typically for an OKW player, what you want to do is actually allow them to save up for the Panther, because not only is it more powerful, the best way to describe it is if you can have one team go for a medium armor and then something go for the heavy armor, you have something to counter the jump that typically happens, the upgraded tier level. And that's a medium tank to a heavy tank that will be deployed. Panther can go toe to toe. Right now, the medium tank is like the top of its game. It's the thing that you can't beat because you don't have the resources to get something higher yet. Again, that window will close at around the 20-minute mark, and typically people have enough fuel to get like Comets, Churchill, stuff that they can counter medium armor. But until that point, the medium tanks are what you need to help counter the enemy, and then if you have a couple teammates, be like, okay, you guys have this, capitalize on that, and we'll go something else more powerful, that way we can have something to keep increasing our power. That's what you need. Now, as you can see, these guys aren't dumb by any stretch of the imagination. It looks like actually the American player did send some AT support. And yeah, the AT guns shred medium armor. It doesn't take as many shots, and their armor, while slightly sloped, isn't the best at deflecting AT rounds. So, unlike a Panther, which, man oh man, does that deflect stuff like crazy. Oh, speaking of the Panther, there we go. He saved that for a Panther. Well, we had a Panzer IV rush over here, diverting the AT guns. They're able to move up their armor, kind of attack. Now, this is really stupid coming around because, again, we know he has AT guns here, but at least this guy's a moron and puts him behind heavy cover, which, I'll take. Smoke would probably be a good thing right now, or just getting the hell out of there. But, yeah, it's probably going to die because you're showing the rear. Wow, you're so lucky the MG. You're so lucky the MG murdered that thing. Or, no. Wow, it really was an MG. Yeah, so it looks like they're sending more forces over to mid to kind of counter the Axis push, which we'll see how well that goes. Yeah, probably not a good idea to say a Puma close range. This guy is getting bazookas, so finally he is getting something. LB, what do you... Wow, okay, so we have a lot of Panzer IVs, and this could be a problem. The fact you... Well, actually, no. You have Panzer IVs, highly mobile, against the enemy that is currently focusing all their attention in mid, so they have nothing over here, and you could easily, go around behind enemy lines, do a lot of damage. They have one AT gun up here, so if you did a little recon and found that out, if you targeted this, you could murder everything up here. The only threat to Panzer IV is this thing right here. Everything else can be killed quite efficiently. Now it looks like, again, they're attacking with the AT. Unfortunately, again, with the AT guns here, you have to kill those quickly. And, okay, with the smoke, that should cause a lot of havoc. The Bofor can do a little bit of damage to Panzer IVs, but not all that much. It helps, but is not exactly super effective. That being said, with the Panzer IVs coming in behind, AT guns are weak from behind, so a good placed shot can actually kill it. And just a couple from a Panzer IV should neutralize it. And that was actually a good flank. They lost one Panzer IV, but he lost two AT guns and a Bofor. That's pretty good. That's a pretty nice trade. Looks like you're not getting the fuel from that. If you lose the mortar emplacement, that would be a victory. Yep, you lost it. That's a victory for the Wehrmacht. And again, a nice flank. And we can see here, he's adapting. So IB Life knows that the American blob is currently active, that there is a lot of units in close proximity to each other, aka a blob. So what he wants to do is get an artillery piece, mobile artillery that can neutralize a lot of units in close proximity to each other, which is why you get a Panzerwerfer. Oh look, it looks like his teammate is already prepared. Though it looks like a few too many Panzerwerfers in my opinion, that should be good for neutralizing a lot of that infantry that's kind of conjugating all in mid. So if you can kind of stop them from forming up and making a big, party, that kind of helps. That really does help. Here's an OKW Panzer IV. It automatically deploys with armored skirts, which increases health and adds some extra protection. Once again, I have to say this. I love that skin. So anyway, you can see here a lot of American infantry trying to fight that Panzer IV, but simply not happening. And that beautiful Panzerwerfer comes in doing a lot of damage. Panzer IV coming in, trying to chase down infantry as they retreat back to their base and try to kill as much as possible. That way it costs more to bring them back out and delays their inevitable return. So that allows the Axis to, continue dominating. And with that, I would say the Axis did suffer some losses, but overall, wow, nice job running over that infantry. Thinking around this AT gun, that would probably be the best thing. Yeah, in this scenario, you probably just want to run. One AT gun shot, you're screwed. So, yeah, that smoke is disappearing. Yeah, get that. You better blitz. Or just move up infantry and kill the AT gun. That's also... What the hell? That was one hell of a curve shot. That was a wanted level shot. If everyone's ever... I can't believe I'm saying this now, but there are movies now that I'm realizing, like, I say them, but they're like, oh, wait, that wasn't... I guess maybe some people could remember that movie? I think it came out in 2008, spawned its own game, but it was a movie with Angelina Jolie and James McAvoy. That had that you could, like, assassins that could curve bullets. And I guess that AT gun shot was just now curved. Stormtroopers coming out, helping to assist. Now again, I think these are some of the best infantry in the game because they're not expensive as Obel-Sudan, but you equip them with SCG-44s. As long as you get them ranked up, oh boy, they're great. Because again, they can camouflage themselves with SCG-44s, and a bunch of them just popping out of nowhere and just opening fire on a bunch of infantry that are unprepared. You do a lot of damage. Now we have a Comet tank out again, a very powerful British tank, probably the most if I think of all the British tanks, this is probably the one with the best firepower. Not for just tanks, but just overall everything. My God, look at all the mines. Like, okay, I'm gonna pause it right now for a second. This is terrible mine placement. This is, like, what the fuck? Okay, you don't, when I say place mines, and I say this in a lot of my replays, every faction can place mines. It was some type of doctrine. And I paused right there just to be like, you really? Just a moment. But yeah, what you need to do is don't place them like this. This is stupid. Because as soon as the tank hits it, maybe it hits this one, or maybe it detonates and you don't even hit it. You need key choke points. You just need one to hit vehicles that come in from behind. And nice job with the Comet killing the Panzer IV. Again, easily a better tank, so that's why I can kill it. But you need one just to stop an armored unit from flanking or behind. The reason why people do that... Wow, what the hell is that? Oh, time on target with a mix of anti-building flame mortars, which, as you can see, kills all the bunkers and everything around. But the reason why you have that stuff is to kill a tank that could go around and kill your artillery, which is so vital. Which is fine if you have a couple of these, but having them so like this, like if they come down this path, it's gonna hit this one. I don't understand. And if there's like a line of them, yeah, it doesn't, like, have them scattered about. That's my kind of statement on that. Just put them at key choke points, but then make sure that a little bit down the way there's more. Don't, like, oh boy, yeah. It's like telling someone to do something and they just do it, but there's a finesse to them. And that's what I mean, like, having a mine there would have prevented the Firefly from coming in and kind of doing a lot of damage, honestly. For example, killing the Panzerwerfer, which it probably will do right about now. Oh, look, it's not dead. It's just decrewed. So, yeah. Also, don't send a Firefly in, but I swear to God, if you put... Okay, if he was about to do the missile fire, you could do it right now, and that'll probably be a smart move. That way you could escape. And that's how you fuck it up. You move the tank while it's firing, so it misses. You kind of have to keep it stationary, which is why the Firefly is best at long range, not moving. Not moving behind enemy lines while under fire. That's just incredibly stupid. Alright, looks like, wow, holy God, BMW lost a lot of units. Saint has our decent artillery force, but his infantry got massacred. Wolf has a Firefly that is very slow and in enemy territory. So, yeah, like I said, very stupid. My cat even came over. It was just like, what is this guy doing? Again, the missiles, not great at killing. They're basically just to obscure or render a portion of the vehicle useless, whether it's the engine, whether it's sight, whether it's the turret, whatever. Is that... Oh, we have a mattress fire over here trying to kill the infantry. Infantry's too mobile, though. Oh, boy. And actually, IB Life is actually doing a decent job of coming up here and doing some damage. He might be able to take it eventually. Eventually. Probably some Minesweepers would be good. Yeah, this enemy team of allies are using so many mines, but in the worst way possible. Oh, boy. But yeah, a lot of Panthers. So we have a lot of advanced medium armor. So to counter that, they're going to need Fireflies, but keep them at range. Have infantry force or a Churchill's, anything to take the brunt of damage, and then have Fireflies go at a long range and snipe that armor. So let's see, we have a Pack 43 here. My assumption would be is that way they can keep enemy armor and stuff like that. But the problem is, this is a terrible Pack 43 spot because AT guns can fire uphill. It just is a very high likelihood that it's going to hit the terrain. And I get you don't want to put any closer because of the fact that, you know, you have artillery and everything else firing, which can very easily, like, kill it. So, in my opinion, probably a better spot would have been over here, because that way you can fire through this terrain, and it's open. So, it has a very, very low chance of hitting this terrain, and a very high likelihood of hitting any armor that comes up and, you know, starts fighting. Why you send Oswin in, I don't know. This has kind of been just a clusterfuck, but yeah, I mean, the Axes have been gaining the upper hand, so whatever clusterfuck they're doing, it's working. Also, here's an example of what not to do. Don't send AT guns by themselves, because you'll be saying, well, Greyshot, it's working. No, it's not. It's not going. This is gonna backfire so amazingly, it's not even funny. Well, commandos deploy behind main lines because of that doctrine, the mobile assault. You can deploy these commandos, good short-range infantry, close-range infantry, deploy behind enemy lines. Here's why this is a really stupid plan. Because if there was any infantry up here, that would have massacred them. He's very lucky that apparently this guy is focusing mid, which is really not where he should be focusing. He should be on the left-hand side, providing support, making sure, of course, his position does not fall. But providing attacking through this way is where you want to do it. Coming from the left and flanking, not hitting mid. Because while, yes, they now have mid, they lost a lot of key territory points, and now they're going to start losing this game because of points. You capture points from these stars. The more capture points you have, the quicker the enemy is defeated. So, yeah. And if it's, you know, like this, then neither side loses, and it turns into an annihilation game. Alright, so oh boy, and like I said, I think I said that. Without the CT gun, there's nothing up here. And a Panther, which is, by the way, not normally all that effective at killing enemy, you know, infantry, is just massacring everything up here. And I just find it hilarious. Just a tank, not even its designed purpose to kill infantry, literally help massacre everything up here. I mean, Panzerwerfer did help, but yeah, I mean, this thing has 13 kills of infantry. That's not typical of a Panther. Usually they're designed to fight armor. And this armor unit is probably going to die. Why? Because, again, Fireflies are meant to shoot long range. If you fight close range with a Panther, you're going to die. Wow, okay, Panther, you deploying smoke? Oh, okay, you deployed smoke so we can kill that. Lure the Firefly in closer, come around and have the advance. Okay, first you should have showed rear armor. You should probably show front. A Firefly has even a hard time puncturing the front. Is that a command vehicle thing? No, Blitzkrieg. He's blitzkrieging, so he increases speed, which will, again, you can see here he's trying to get around so the turret can't hit him. Get around to the back. Show front armor, so even if he does fire, it may bounce. You missed with the missiles. Again, long range, and you die. Might have looked really stupid, but that was actually a decent tactic by the Panther to use that Blitzkrieg, even though it didn't look like it was going that fast. So the Firefly couldn't hit him, and yeah. That's honestly why the Firefly is meant to do long range. I don't understand why they're like, guys, send him in close range. It's a tank destroyer, yes, and tank destroyers have an advantage over normal tanks, but they have their own issues where they're not really meant to, like, be pulverized. There's very few tank destroyers in this game that can take a beating. The Yag Tiger is one that can take a hell of a beating. But the Stug or the Firefly or the Su-85, not really. Also, Minesweeper. Jesus Christ. You know these guys are using a lot of mines. One minesweeper from an engineer would really help you out. Now this is a bad scenario because there's 2 comets here and 2 Panzer IVs. Guess who has the advantage? The Panzer IVs do not. It is against them. Their shots will bounce off comet armor even, as you can see, and does very little damage. So they need to get the hell out of there. Yeah. And because of that assault, he lost 2 Panzer IVs, 1 command tank, Panzer IV, the other normal. Sure, he can send the Panther up there, but the Panther can go toe-to-toe with 1, so it's probably not going to gain much headway. It's really RNG luck who wins, and judging by the fact that each of them are starred, and each of them can use their own tactic, it's pretty much up to player control who wins. And this player kind of failed, because he showed his rear armor, which allowed the comet to get a nice penetrating shot, and definitely forced this thing to withdraw, otherwise it probably would have lost. Okay, here's a question for you. You have 3 priests, and these priests are, again, long-range heavy artillery batteries. Very mobile, which is good for killing emplacements, but making sure the enemy artillery can't hit them. Question. Why have none of them gone more than 1? Or star, or even 1 kill at this point? You've had them for how long? How goddamn long have you had this damn thing? Seriously. The fuck? Anyway, up here, we can see your infantry game going on with G43 rifles, given the basic infantry, which definitely increases their attack power and helps them real. Why would you do... Okay, you're sacrificing unit at that point. Whatever. Not my unit. Anyway, the half-track here is to make sure the infantry are reinforced, and as long as you're in allied controlled territory, you can easily heal. You can deploy more infantry from this half-track to keep your fighting force going. That's why he's not retreating his Pioneer Squad. He's trying to reinforce from the half-track so he can keep fighting. And you can see here he's doing just that. Panzer IV, I'm assuming... Panzer IV. Panther, out on the sidelines, he's trying to heal his Pioneer Squad. Probably going to heal that. And again, I'm not saying that they didn't do a decent job in camping. Also, infantry can still get around this. But the big issue, the main issue is this: you put up a horrible defense structure, and now there's all these supplies that he can just keep healing his men, keep reinforcing, and just take all this stuff and just block this location and this. Well, yeah, this location to prevent enemy from pushing up. Oh, goddamn. Those mines are just... minesweepers. My god. Anyway, these things are all going to die because... Well, nice close-range priest. I'll give you that. But, yeah, priests do actually a lot of damage against armor if they're not moving or it's in direct range. But, yeah. These guys have Piats, which allow them a lot of anti-infantry combat. Anti-infantry. Anti-armor, along with the Brens, which are anti-infantry, which allow them to help kill these Panthers that are crippled because of enemy mines. And this is why you don't go in... You don't send a bunch of armor behind enemy lines. Sure, you can send a Panther to go do that if you're facing a lot of enemy infantry. That's fine. That's been done. Also, you should have retreated that. Wow, really surprised AVRE didn't actually get a really nice kill off, all that infantry. That would have been awesome, but kind of failed in that regard. But you send it behind to kill armor, you don't send a lot, because anytime you send a unit behind enemy lines, expect it to die. I always do that. I expect that unit not to come back. If it comes back, it's a bonus. Your main objective is to kill the enemy artillery, sneak around behind enemy lines, and try. Typically, you want to also try to do some recon, so of course it looks better. Well, not looks... Well, it's a better chance of killing it, because then you know, okay, here's what I'm trying to kill, and this is what's in the way. This would be the best way to get around all those units. But that's just me. Also, really ballsy for a Panzer IV to fight a Comet, but the Comet's really presenting itself by presenting its rear. Luckily, it has not only a King Tiger, but a Panther coming in for encirclement on this. So, yeah. Churchill, probably going to die. Panzer IV going to die. Probably should have retreated that a little sooner. But with all this armor, there's no way Comets going to be able to hold. Yes, Comets could technically use speed and just go around the King and fire from multiple angles and kill it in that capacity. But from the position that they're currently at and the damage they've taken, there's no way that they can currently do that. And the Panther providing support on the flank, no, they can't. They can't flank it, because if they would try to, the Panther would just fire at them, and they would slowly be just crippled. All right, so let's see here. Oh, nice grenade from Rifleman. Kill the MG and allow them to capture mid. Axis, yeah, definitely need to capture some more command points. Let's see, army composition, you have some really good players like Ibreak, who has a full army. Then you have terrible players like Wolf, who are spamming AT guns. Because why not? They can't do anything else. Saint, decent army. BMW, no army. Then the Axis, we have a full army with IB Life, who actually has a wide range of forces, which, good job. I mean, he's captured this left point, successfully captured the hill, and hopefully he can come around and do a decisive blow to whatever's left on the left-hand flank. Because, once again, the allies are like, let's camp the hill with, I mean, don't get me wrong, this guy's barely any men, but he shouldn't be up here. He should be somewhere else. Because there's only one guy really charging here. You only need one guy to really fight one guy. Unless you're being hit by a lot of, wow, okay, yeah, retreat everything. That's a really smart play. Oh, boy. But yeah, just the amount of units the Axis have is greater than the number of the allies have. So the allies need to really go defensive, but judging by the points they control, they can't. They have to go on the offensive, which is definitely not helping. Luckily, this command tank's recon plane is definitely helping and providing insight. I'm like, okay, there's a king here and everything else, so at least they know what's coming. Again, knowing what the enemy is bringing to the table to fight you, probably a good thing. Probably a really good thing. No, definitely a good thing. All right, so let's see here. We have the great AT line with a command tank for recon. I can't wait to see how this backfires. Like, we know this is going to backfire. I just can't wait to see how it's going to backfire. And don't be wrong, it's going to kill any armor in its way. Congratulations, your AT guns win in that capacity. But still, I guess his assumption would be, let's get a ton of AT guns and have the, you know, the command tank via Centaur block infantry from killing it. But it's so damn slow, AT gunfire can hit. Oh, the PaK-43 could kill it. It looks like we have some time on target, I assume. Yep, it's going to murder this thing. That's the problem with really going against an artillery doctrine, is any emplacement you have, it's really going to die. Like, yeah, it doesn't stand a chance. But that being said, this is almost guaranteed to fail. Why? Because we know this guy is, IB has 2 Panzerwerfers. So most likely all he's going to do is move up his Panzerwerfers and annihilate all these AT guns. It's impressive, and if it was a tank coming at, like this line, with all these anti-tank crew, there's no way a tank could fit. Even a Panther, it can't deflect that many shells. So yeah, it would be a massacre. But then also, look at what this guy's doing. Let's turn all of them to face this direction, not this way, not down here, but toward the brush. You know the tank's not going to come through here. It physically can't. And now we have an AT gun fight. Because why not? I'm surrounded by idiots. And now we have, again, Stalin using his railway artillery to just be like, well, let's get rid of all these AT guns, and please hit this. Thank you. And railgun does exactly what it needs to. A heavy artillery piece that is on a rail-type system that fires very heavy rounds long range, capable of hurting armor and annihilating infantry, as done right here. And not only that, but the Wehrmacht player could come, or the OKW player could come over here, or I was going to say decommission them for fuel, but he still can, or they could recommission them if you're a Wehrmacht player. And now, because they're all dead, this guy's like, well, Art's like, well, I guess I could just move up and kill everything. And he's not wrong. Jackson over here would cause some trouble. And honestly, though, this is a really stupid charge to really push up a bunch of command tanks. I mean, not command tanks, Panthers. You honestly should have some type of infantry support with you, or any other type of support, but you don't have that. So, yeah. I will say this. Nice job killing the Jackson. Jackson probably should not have wedged himself behind some trees, honestly. But no, he can just simply retreat, and I don't see any mines, so he should be able to make it out of there okay. Very lucky indeed. Let's say, I love how the AT gun fight here. And this AT gun's like, I don't even care about you, I'm just going to keep hitting all these tanks. So more fighting on the right-hand side, with more comets valiantly holding the hill, but the king and the other stuff are just slowly pressing. But yeah, with the constant allied recon, that's going to make it a lot harder for the Axis to really take those positions. Yeah, AVRE doesn't do a lot of damage versing the king. It doesn't have a lot of explosive power like the Sturm does. But anyway, Sturm Tiger, very similar, except way more explosive. But yeah, even though they're holding the hill quite well, they have all their armor here, just like hiding up in this corner. If they were in like a more open environment, like again, here, they could easily encircle and kill the king. But since the king is fighting in a narrow field, its front armor can deflect a lot of those shots, and it can take on those comets. Anyway, this guy has his AT gun army thing going with his centaurs, which again I don't understand, but I think it's working or not. I really have no idea. Like, yeah, kind of gone to a clusterfuck, honestly. Honestly, I really want this guy to just bring out his Panzer. What the hell happened to your Panzerwerfers? I guess a comet or something came around and killed it, which sucks, but I guess it happens. But yeah, Panzerwerfer like on this stuff would be amazing. Also, I love this arty piece that, again, the priest should easily be able to destroy, but apparently no, they're having a really tough time with that. And actually, the enemy stationary artillery is helping to kill this stuff. This is beautiful. And sending the Panzer IV to come and kill this stuff, also great. Using that Blitzkrieg tactic to increase its speed, so it can chase down this priest and kill it before it escapes. Will it escape? Nope. Well, no, they killed it. Okay, good. Probably gonna lose the paint. Wow. Okay, smoke, and can you escape? Now what's chasing it? Oh, it's no. Jackson's gonna. Jackson has decent speed. Should be able to. Now, oh, there we go. Hit a mine, I think. Hit a mine or is hit from behind. One of the two could do it. And unfortunately, it just gets annihilated. But that was still a good trade. At least you knocked out the artillery, which should make it very difficult for the Allies to really remove this stuff over here. So, whatever. That's a good tactic. Not sure why the Panzerwerfer's over here, but you smoke and at least you'll be able to get out of there. Now, right now, the game is still in the favor of the Allies, because, again, they control the majority of the points, and they're slowly ticking down the clock for the Axis. Now, as long as they keep doing that, they'll be fine. And right now, again, we have really most of their forces over here, when in actuality, I think IB, you should actually be sending your infantry to capture not only this fuel point, but also go around enemy lines, lay down some mines of your own, because you have some decent munitions, and honestly, I think a few teller mines could be very good at countering the enemy armor, in case they send a bunch of comets or something, because for some reason, they like being up here, but maybe eventually they will not. Why are you sending a command tank by itself? Jesus Christ, and you're not even an AI. Like, it would say AI or something here if there was an AI, but no, that is not, that is simply not the case. More emplacements over here, once again. Kind of a bad idea, because we know with all these bunkers that they can be easily killed by the flame mortar stuff, so yeah, very unsure why you keep putting that stuff down. I mean, the artillery piece was great, but I think it's way too far up for it to live for very long, but it, you know, good idea, kinda. I also find it kind of funny you don't use it to attack any of this stuff. Literally, what, 1, 2, like 1 or 2 clicks from it, if that. Like, how big? It can't be more than like a 2,000 feet away, like 1,000 or 2,000 feet, I assume. Maybe. Probably not even that. No, it's probably less, like only a couple hundred feet, right? Now, I would say probably 1,000 feet at most. I'm thinking of distance from the AT gun to everything over here. So, we have a nice flank coming in. King Tiger just wrecking shop. Yeah, they're... Ugh. large push, but a combined arms push from multiple different multiple different people. Oh boy. Now they're coming in from behind the king. The king should probably back the fuck up right about now, so that way it doesn't, get annihilated. Also, every tank should be firing at this, comet so the king doesn't die. Very lucky it didn't die. It still can die. It's very low health, and a couple shots probably kill it. Luckily, the command tank is providing a defensive bonus, so that's probably keeping it alive. Wow, and there goes all your armor on the hill. That was a good shot from the AVRE. The problem is it's not going to live. There's way too many men. Yeah, way too many tanks, which should probably move up, honestly. Oh, Jackson came from behind. Oh, dude, send your stuff over there. Oh, don't heal it. Don't crew it. Just heal it. Massive heal. Damn. Okay, Jackson is like, no, you're not going to do that. And just causes the whole engine to burst into flames. Sure. That's great. Anyway, Centaurs going in behind enemy lines. This guy loves his Centaur. I don't understand why, because they're not getting a lot of kills or veterancy, nor are they living that long. But sure, why not? Yeah, go with that. I'm sure that'll be okay. I mean, yeah, you're probably going to kill a lot of stuff behind here, but congratulations? Oh, okay, so this is still decrewed. I mean, congratulations, you guys going to massacre all the Panzerwerfers. Actually, pretty smart move. They should have the Axis should have put mines or something on the road to prevent you from coming up. But even though I say that, and you killed 3 of them, which is really crippling to the Axis artillery, I still can't take you seriously with the Centaurs. I'm sorry. All right, so big fortified position over here. Yeah, so this, no offense, IB should really focus back on the right-hand side, honestly. Yeah, you should. And that was the sound of my cat doing something she was not supposed to. So I'm going to have to get... Oh, god dang it. I know what I'm doing after this replay. Oh, boy. But in any case here, yeah. Panther coming around going Centaur hunting, and I don't understand why these Centaurs are still behind enemy lines. Like, they know you're here. Like, they can't fight a Panther. Panther's too strong, and I love how the Panther's like, wait, hold on, come back here. But yeah, I mean, yes, they're doing a lot of damage. I'm still befuddled by the Axis A response time to a bunch of Centaurs, and B, their allowance of, again, that's why you block stuff up with mines. Like, again, like I said, in all that time, IB, you could have placed teller mines on the left-hand side, which would have killed this one, and, yeah, done a lot of damage. But, you lost all your artillery, but hell, you have the right-hand side. Or, actually, maybe not, if these, Brens and Piats have their way. Nope. Retreat. And we have some type of artillery, probably base artillery. And judging by what they have, it's going to be just normal artillery, not the white phosphorus stuff. Because, again, everyone went Comet, so you don't get the stuff that causes more damage to vehicles. Oh, look, Jacksons and everything else. So, yeah, this Panzer IV does not stand a chance. Jacksons are tank destroyers, and, like, Fireflies will annihilate enemy armor from a distance. Not close up, because they lack armor. And even if the Panzer IV is by itself, it could probably kill a Jackson. A Jackson close range if it, was maneuvered properly. But long range, Jackson has the clear advantage because there's better accuracy and better firepower. Panzerwerfer's going back down. How many Panzerwerfers does this guy have? Like, seriously. Like, how many Panzerwerfers is he going to get? And this one's still here. But yeah, this is the point where I honestly think IB, you should be focusing on the right-hand side and pressing into enemy territory. But anyway, yeah, so the enemy trying to take over the left-hand side, but probably not expecting so much infantry resistance. And because they have a lot of infantry with, Panzer Shreks, the Jacksons can't really fight that, so they're having a really rough time. Not sure why this tank is fighting, or why it presented itself so close. What? Again, very lucky it bounced off the side of that panther. Also very lucky time on target didn't murder that thing. So, what are we seeing right now? Has he moved? I'm actually curious. Has Saint moved at all? Or Wolf Forever, I'm sorry. Wolf Forever. I don't think he's moved. I think he's kept all those units there the entire time. So, yeah, resource-wise, the Axis are clearly getting a major advantage by holding all that territory on both hills and kind of even pressing mid. So, yeah, the Allies need to really change their game. Point-wise, the stars are being, mostly in Axis pan, so... Oh, finally used artillery over here. It's about damn time. Okay, decent hit. Actually, surprised the Panzerwerfers did that much. I know it's 2, but still. Usually the mortar emplacements have enough armor to kind of withstand it. And also, probably would have been a smarter idea to do that, harden ability so it doesn't take as much damage. Just me. Just saying. Oh, boy. So actually, the Allies have a full army. The Axis kind of a more scattered, so we'll see how that goes. If they use it correctly, they could turn the tide, even though they have less territory. Because again, it's how you use your units. There's a pop cap in this game for a reason. That way, you don't have a situation where literally it devolves to who can build 100 advanced heavy tanks first. That's how Ruse typically ended up in very long games where people would make so many administration buildings, it was insane. Still, really good game though. Really good game. If it didn't, it didn't divulge until, spam. But, yeah. So, this is where you have your AT gun. And this is where you start firing at the very slow tank advancing. Also, wow, very lucky the priest hit it. Also, this would be a great example of where teller mines, like I said over here, would have been effective. In the meantime, we have the Axis pushing up, and oh boy, are they pissed. Looks like annihilating a lot of the comets, and one decent shot from the King Tiger, because again, very good against killing infantry on this blob would be very, very destructive. Wow, okay, railway forcing the infantry back, and yeah, that's a pretty clear victory for Axis armor to win and, push the Allies back when the Allies are literally fighting in front of their base. That's a very bad sign. But anyway, so a big Allied push on the right hill. Again, they're trying to control the point. IB sending his force up here. Yeah, this thing dying, and also a lot of anti-tank fire from the Jacksons, which he probably didn't expect. Panzer Faust would probably murder, this. Oh, okay, you just used it. So fire again. Fire, or just have the tank kill it. And now just run away so you don't lose that unit. Run away. Or lose the unit. That's fine too, I guess. Yeah, really wondering why you're using mattress fire over here. Like, seriously, if you just have these guys fire normally, it would kill this stuff. And then you could save the mattress for, I don't know, big blobs infantry like this. Or, that's not really a blob, actually. Actually, I haven't really seen a massive blob from the Axis. Although, really nice shot from the AVRE. I love it's like, fine, you want to spam centaurs? We'll spam Oswins. I don't understand why. Actually, really surprised Stalin is still spamming medium armor. He should really get some more of the advanced stuff to kind of keep, his stuff alive and actually relevant. Although, really nice railway. Really nice railway. I guess that was a distraction. I'm going to assume that was a distraction. And once again, another Panther bites the dust. Again, why? I mean, there's 2 Jacksons here. So close range, they have a better advantage because there's double the firepower. So, yeah. If it was a 1v1, it would be a different story. And the Allies successfully take over the right-hand side while the Allies retake the left. It's like an exchange where it's like, well, look, we'll give you that hill if you give us out your hill. Fine. And it's a violent exchange. And it's like, they keep doing that over and over and over again, but nothing changes. Why you have an AT gun here by itself, I don't know. Probably should have retreated. King Tiger being healed. They're moving all their armor, I guess, over in this sector to kind of stand a chance. Actually, one thing, I'm really surprised. Is there a Yag? No, he just has a King. Really surprised you haven't gone a Yag, because I think Yag, like right here, had been great for tearing apart this armor. Though I think the King might have been a better move, because it does more destructive power against infantry and good against pretty much all armor. So, yeah. If you wanted a more varied damage dealer, the King Tiger is what you want. If you want something specifically against vehicles, then the other thing is what you want, the Yag. Now, okay, so I'm assuming, wow, okay, so IB is now holding the left, because why not? Sure, I'm sure that's going to be a great move for him. I say this, and I'm just like, no, it's not. Also, we have Priest Fire, again, trying to stop the King and all the armor from rushing up, but that's not going to work. Comet's kind of getting in the mix, but they're being surrounded way too many. Again, they can go toe-to-toe with Panthers, but with the King in there, that's a trump card. And, yes, I just realized that I just said trump card, and I just realized that there's a guy running for president named Trump. This doesn't, and I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't matter which side of the political system you rely on. It's just, this whole political system is just freaking hysterical of just how it's gone. Oh boy. Anyway, so moving on. Yeah, these guys are like, okay, we're not going to deal with this. If you're wondering what happened, he used the vehicle crew repair, which drops smoke, makes it so the enemy vehicles really can't target this, so they're just going to retreat. I would retreat, honestly, because there's no point of fighting that thing. You can't hit it. Better fight the Jacksons. And I like how the King Tiger wedged itself in so the Jacksons couldn't see it anymore. Like, you can't see me. I am hiding. Some enemy infantry trying to move up and fight, but it's just being, well, pretty much annihilated. Why are you still here? Retreat. But no, I guess it doesn't want to. Oh, boy. Right. Really should have moved the King, honestly. Not sure why it's still there. I guess the Panthers can come in, but you shouldn't probably have, you know, a very weakened tank just like standing there. Though I will admit, nice support with the infantry, with the, you know, Panzer Grenadiers, with the Panzer Shreks that can murder all this stuff, and the Panthers still doing a lot of damage. So, yeah. Well, at this point, probably should retreat because right now it's, you've already won. You just don't lose your vetted stuff. Wow, very lucky those shots bounced. Yeah, moving up to Jackson, not a smart move. Like, don't send stuff in if you don't need to. Again, I love how it's like that Jackson's like, I finally got him, and he's like, not yet, and one last shot takes out the unit. That's always great in 2H2, where it's like, not yet. It just fires one last shot, even though it's about to die, and it takes out that thing that killed it. Oh boy. Yeah, not really a big army. I'm not seeing, like, this guy doesn't have resources, which is also weird why he's not using it. Wolf has a lot of resources. Kind of weird he's not using that. But the other two guys, The Axes are using all their resources and fighting tooth and nail. But the Allies are like, we have 1,600 manpower. Maybe I'll get a Comet. Maybe. But yeah, quite honestly, I'm gonna start. It's been an hour. I'm gonna start fast forwarding it. Hasn't been an exceptional game. I haven't really seen a lot of interesting tactics at all. It's just kind of been like heavy tanks going at it. I get it. I'm not gonna get a ton of amazing replays with awesome skills, and you know, sometimes I will get those, and that's fine. Sometimes I'll get a big 4v4. Sometimes you go to the movie theater, you see a blockbuster like Magnificent Seven. Then sometimes you go into it and you see Hell or High Water. And it's like they both are great, entertaining movies, but they're for totally different reasons. If you want, like, there was a recent replay where I had a big clusterfuck. That's what you want to see. Enjoy. And there's other games where it's other games where it's a 1v1 or 2v2 or 3v3 where it's a very precise, very awesome toe-to-toe match. But sometimes you just want to relax and see a bunch of noobs and see what they do. This guy, why would you put all the MGs in here? There's no point. Oh my god. Fortified up here for no real reason. Again, fortify here because there's one way up. Huh? Alright. But anyway, all the tanks are going to be like, alright, we're just going to come up from behind because why the hell not? And the Panthers are also going to assist. I don't know what AVR is going to do against all that, but why not? You have 2 Pack 43s. Why? Sure, I guess help guard mid, maybe? Also love how he's preparing to attack with Jacksons against a fortified position that has no tanks, but why not? All the armor rushing up the hill now. A final Axis push to break the allies on this position. Mines everywhere once again. Very nice mine play. I mean, like, not where I would want them, but the fact you're putting so many mines is something that's probably boggling, like, effect to the Axis. Like, what the hell? But no, Axis came back. Kind of turn the tide and win the game. On the left-hand side, the big, again, allied push. Kind of working. AT gun should have been more up with the bunker to kind of help counter this stuff. And that way, again, that would have prevented the Jacksons from killing the bunkers. And while so the Axis control the right now, the Allies control left. Like I said, it's a flip-flop of hills where it's just an exchange. I'm playing Battlefield 1 right now, and it's, again, World War 1 is the notorious thing for, like, okay, the enemy moves 1 mile, we move one back and retake that mile, and it just goes back and forth, and millions die in the process. But this is just ridiculous. Yeah, being completely honest. I love the clusterfuck of armor just stuck. Hold fast. Get ready. Oh boy. Just a big armor engagement. This guy could have sent in his comments. He could have had an army of comments. Again, judging by the amount of manpower he had, he could have literally had like four comments charge and flank all the armor pushing up the hill. Nope, not gonna do it. Yeah, I don't understand some people and their strategies. Like, yeah, we could do this, or we couldn't, and then, oh, well, eventually we will. Yeah, kind of weird. All right, Hitler's most damage. Yeah, his Panthers and King Tiger were very destructive. IB Life got a lot of kills. I'm assuming that was from, like, the Panzerwerfer and stuff. Pretty good. The Allied side, we have BMW with the most. I'm actually kind of wondering why. Maybe because of a mix of the AVRE and Comets, I'm assuming. And Saint got most kills. Yeah, his infantry were pretty good. So, oh yeah, and no, there's no way his priest got it. No, okay, barely. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised he got that. Anyway, yeah, interesting game. Look, IB Life, I will give you this. You didn't. Oh, you're calling out in the last. All right, I was gonna say Tiger Ace, and then of course he brings out Tiger Ace. But at least you didn't mishandle that. So you used the doctrine pretty well. And overall, it was a decent game. But there was a lot of flaws in this game from multiple people. I'm just like, okay, there's some good strategy with how you, like, micro a Panther. That's good. But then, like, mine placement, terrible. Artillery usage, terrible. Defensive infrastructure, terrible. So, yeah, definitely could be improved on that. Just making sure the enemy has... If they attack into your base, make sure you have some type of structure to prevent them from really pushing too deep in enemy territory, because if they do that and they knock out your support structure, there goes your army. But in any case, that's game. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, check out my Patreon, and I want to thank my supporters like Chris, Leo, Tim, and Panzerberger for supporting me on Patreon. You guys rock. Thanks again. This has been Greyshot17, and I'll see you next time.